Thanks, Cole. Hi, Pat. Yesterday, Travis Head said that he feels that batsmen can be defined by their performances in overseas tours. Do you feel that as a captain, even though it's early on in your tenure, that your captaincy could be defined and really helped by a good performance in Pakistan?
I think it can be helped. Yeah, it's probably pretty early on to say I'd be defined on any one tour, but absolutely, it throws up a different challenge to cricket. We've grown up used to playing here in Australia and watching. So yeah, it's gonna. There's probably going to be times where I'm going to have to be more creative. And try a few different things, be brave. So yeah, I'm excited for that challenge.
Tom Decent.
Hey, Pat. If you were to sort of sum up your goals and ambitions for this tour as your sort of first one as Aussie skipper abroad, what would you sort of say they are from a team perspective?
The most obvious one's to win the series. And I think, that might not necessarily look like, 2 wins and 1 loss or whatever. It might even be having to grind out some tough test matches and hold out for a draw. We don't really know what we're going to expect over there. Subcontinent test matches can be played quickly or can be played slowly. But I think for a lot of this group, we haven't played a lot of cricket overseas. So, I think if we want to be number 1 in the world, we've got to have a really good showing on these subcontinent tours in the next, during this off season, and it starts over here in Pakistan.
Also just going to ask Pat on Steve Smith. I know he's been cleared to fly. How is he? Has he been hitting balls? And obviously we know his record in the subcontinent's excellent. How critical will he be for those 3 tests?
Yeah, he's huge. Not only just for his runs, but he's performed and done well over there. So he's great for the younger guys and the other batters who haven't played a lot over there to talk to. He's absolutely fine. He's batted in the nets the last couple of days.
Russell Gill.
G'day, Pat. Just a quick one on security and stuff. Obviously, it's here now that it's all been cleared. You're going. I'm sure the players are all happy with the arrangements. But I'm wondering if, outside all the security briefings you've had from the officials, you've spoken to any of the players individually or seen any individual concerns that you've had to address just among the players, and what's the mood like about what you're heading into?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go into specifics or certain players, but no, I think we've got to a place where everyone that's hopping on the plane is comfortable with where it's all sitting. It's been a really thorough body of work that the security and the logistic team have worked through, and obviously the added layer of biosecurity with these times as well. So we're feeling really good. We feel like once we get over there, we're going to be able to just concentrate on the cricket. There won't be too much distractions, and more than anything, it's a really special tour. We're going to fly over there and experience something for the first time. So we're really excited. Everyone's in a really good place. No huge discomforts. We're just keen as mustard to get over there.
Andrew McCormick.
G'day, Pat. I guess I was going to ask you at the end of the presser, but I might just go now just to save some time on Rod Marsh. Obviously, he's going through a really tough period, and everyone up there wishes him the best up there in Bundaberg. Just obviously your thoughts on just hearing the news of Rod and wishing well to his family, and just on sort of the impact that he's had on, I guess, a generation of cricketers in the role that he's had.
Yeah, I'll obviously just wish Bacchus the best. We've been trying to stay abreast as much as we can of the information, and kind of all hit everyone yesterday. Our probably years before our era, so we didn't grow up, watching Rod, but we've certainly heard all the stories. And then in recent years, being able to work with him as head selector, he was great. He really, his outlook on the game, it's quite refreshing in that role as a head selector. He's very relaxed. He's backed players in, doesn't take things too seriously. So, great guy. Just wish him all the best.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Raj.
Thanks, Cole. Hi, Pat. You guys have traveled to India quite a lot of times. and you're quite familiar with before you set out to travel to, say, India. But Pakistan obviously is an unknown factor. What do you expect Pakistan to be like? I mean, do you expect to be quite different to a tour of India?
Don't really know what to expect. Obviously being so close to India, I guess that's probably, my expectation is it's going to be quite similar. The reality is we won't really be leaving the hotel other than going to the grounds. But sometimes on an Indian trip, especially a quick one, that's might be quite similar. So yeah, that's probably the closest thing we're expecting is just getting over there for an Indian Test series, and it's just going to look and feel slightly different with just the huge amount of security around.
If I could just ask you one more. I mean, I saw a record or a stat which said no Pakistani spin bowler has taken 5 wickets in a fourth innings since 1986. What does that tell you? And also the fact that you start in Rawalpindi, which is probably one of the friendliest pace bowling wicket. So where does it leave you think? I mean, what kind of chances does it give you guys?
Yeah, I think it's made us, seeing statistics like that, it's made us not just expect to have a really spin-friendly subcontinent conditions like perhaps we've experienced in past Indian or Sri Lankan tours. It seems like the pace bowlers have done quite well, and they've got a really strong pace bowling lineup. We've done a bit of prep. We feel like the squad that we have covers all areas. We're really comfortable with the makeup. If we need to, have extra spinners or extra pace bowlers, we've got that all covered. Going quite open-minded. We know the statistics on these venues, albeit not with heaps of cricket played on it. But we do have 4 or 5 days in Rawalpindi, before that first test. So, it's going to be exciting. It's not often you fly to a place and there's a lot of unknowns about it.
Andrew McGlashan.
Thanks, Cole. Hey, Pat. Just to go back to your sort of personal development as a captain on this tour, and I know there's not any recent knowledge, so to speak, of going to Pakistan you can pick on, but have you spoken to any previous Australian captains on sort of some of the things to look for when captaining on the subcontinent?
Yeah, absolutely. Steve Smith's captained over in India. He's played in India and seen other captains. Same with Davey Warner in Test match cricket. So I'll certainly be leaning on them. Obviously, the support staff are fantastic, wealth of knowledge. Our analysts has spent a lot of tours over in the subcontinent as well. So there's lots of information and that I'll be trying to sift through and get help from. Again, I feel lucky to have someone like Smithy there who's not only captain in India but also played quite a bit in the subcontinent.
And if I can just go one more quick one, do you think having a cricketer like Cam Green in the side now offers Australia something that they perhaps not have had on some continent tours for too long? I know there was an era with Shane Watson there, but Cam being almost a specialist quick as well. Do you think that gives you an extra dynamic on this tour?
Yeah, it's just another option. He's fantastic throughout the summer. He's a captain's dream because just an extra proper bowling option. So for sure, I think I'm excited to see the challenge of him playing overseas. Again, he's still young. It's great having someone like him in the team. Even if we feel like we, suited to having 2 spinners in the side for a certain venue, knowing that he can be the third quick bowler, it just gives us options and confidence.
Cheers, Pat.
Thanks.
Drew Jones.
G'day, Pat. Just been at training the last couple of days. It looked like you'd sort of set up a spin net that had some rough outside the often leg stump. Like, is that the sort of little 1%ers that you're hoping will hold you in good stead, considering it's pretty hard to prepare for conditions you've never played in?
Yeah, absolutely. Normally you fly in and you probably have a couple of weeks in a place, which has its pros, also has its cons. I think here being able to spend a bit more time in Australia, we'll fly and we'll be fresh, and if we can replicate similar conditions to what we might expect over there, we can literally land within a couple of days. We'll be up to speed, ready for the test match. So yeah, we had a spin bowling net today. We practiced a lot of reverse swing bowling, which can come into it over there in Pakistan. Because the way you've got to play spin and face reverse swing bowling, it can be quite different to what you might experience in a traditional Australian summer. So yeah, it's a bit of fun as well. Where you like seeing new things and trying new things. So it adds an extra element to training.
So you had that ball that had the white side and the red side. Are you hoping you're going to be able to bowl a bit of reverse there, and that could be a competitive advantage for you guys?
I'm not sure it's a competitive advantage, but it's a reality of playing over there. A lot of the time the ball just swings for reverse swing. So we've didn't really experience it this summer with grassy wickets, short games, whereas over there it can be a real weapon. So just trying to upskill that. We haven't bowled a lot of reverse swing in the last year or so, but it's a huge factor going into the subcontinent.
Andrew Ramsey.
I think Cole. Hi, Pat. Just going back to your point about maybe having to grind out some hard test cricket, and Andrew McDonald said the other day that Pakistan like to play the long game. Does that bring some new challenges for your captaincy? Maybe 150 overs in the field, and have you been preparing to sort of work out how you swap between you and Steve Smith and who's sort of calling the shots when it does go into those long phases?
No, I think I'll be able to manage. It's something I'll look at, but it might be long innings, but it's still 90 overs a day. So I think that's totally manageable. I'm excited about the this test summer. A lot of the test matches only went 3 days. My first probably 15 to 20 test matches I played, I felt like every test match went for 5 days. So I really like getting to the grind, and I think that's going to be a challenge for our team, and one that hopefully we can embrace. And that's just the reality of Test cricket. I think I said earlier, like a hard fought 5-day grinding out for a draw in the context of a 3-match series might be as good as a win.
Barrett.
Thanks, Cole. Hey, Patrick. You spoke before the summer about still understanding the nuances of captaining spin being like a work in progress, but it looked from the outside like you were getting more hands-on as the series progressed. So where do you think you stand right now when it comes to just captaining Lyon and the spinners?
I think first of all, me captaining bowlers, especially someone like Lino, I'm not going to certainly tell him what to do. I'm there for him to lean on for a sounding board, and maybe throw up some different options for him. But he's played 100 tests. He was fantastic this summer. The way he took on the challenge and tried new things, and really developed his game. I thought he had an outstanding summer. So I'll be there. I've keen to work with him and the analysts before the series to try and come up with some really good options. And then the challenge is thinking on your feet out there, which can't wait to embrace. It's a new thing for me, captaining spin over there. But I don't think I'll be a deer in the headlights.
Just another quick one. You spoke about playing the long game. So have you guys been consciously training for that in terms of batting and bowling defensively? No, not really. Reality is every test you try to get ready for the long game. I think it's as much a mental thing as physical training. Obviously, us bowlers getting ready for the test match, we've had some really long spells in the nets, so we're used to it. But I think it's that mindset of being okay with ticking along at 2 runs and over, as opposed to here you might be used to 3 or 4 runs and over. Thank you.
Paul Suter.
Hi, Pat. Just as far as the 2 spinners goes, Adar and Swepson haven't had a lot of red ball cricket the last couple of years. How confident are you of throwing them into the deep end? And then that would then mean that potentially either Stark or Hazelwood would miss out. So how hard would that be to drop one of those 2?
Yeah, it's unfortunately the reality of having there's a really, really strong squad is a couple of people are going to miss out on every test match.
Swepo has spent a lot of time around the test side. So even though he might have not played a lot of red ball cricket, he's been bowling lots and lots and lots in the nets. And the same for Ash. He's been playing quite a lot of international cricket the last couple of years. While it's a different format, different feel, really confident, especially in their form more than anything else, that either of those would be able to slot straight in. And in terms of the fast bowlers, I mean, Scotty Boland's just had a fantastic summer. Joshy Hazlewood's and Stark are superstars. So, already one of those are going to miss, for the first test you'd expect. So it's, I think everyone realises that there's going to be some tough calls and, there's not much you can do about it.
Steve Larkin.
Oh, hi, Pat. I appreciate you've only been in camp a little while, but I mean, obviously it's the first run without Justin around. Has that changed the mood at all of the camp? And just to follow up, how's Andrew, settled in? I appreciate he hasn't got the full-time job, but what sort of qualities has he brought to camp so far?
Yeah, it's only been a couple of days. But no, it's been really seamless so far. Obviously Andrew's been around the team for a couple of years, so everyone knows how he operates and what his expectations are. And it's been a great couple of days. I think as much as anything, it's just this test squad has had a really good Ashes series, and we've had a month apart, and now we're all just itching to get back together and get stuck in. So. I'm sure Jay will be missed, but Andrew slotted straight in, and it's only a couple of days in.
Just a quick follow-up. Is it nice to have a bit of, I guess, clean air around without speculation around and Justin?
I think we can just fully concentrate on the cricket, which is with all good intentions. I think when there's speculation, it does make it a little bit harder. So we've just fully focused and excited on this tour. There's been really no other chat other than just excited to get started.
Thank you.
Rajan Natarajan.
Good day, Pat. The opening batting combination still seems unsettled. Who will you think, looking at the Ashes series I'm talking about, who will you think partner Dave Warner if Marcus comes in? Where do you think Uzi will fit in, Usman Khawaja will fit in?
Look, I'm not a selector. I would imagine it's either, Marcus or Uzi will open. Usman's the incumbent, so I think he'll probably get first crack. But I'm not a selector, and we're not over there yet.
Yeah, and also, if I may ask you about Mitch Marsh after his heroics in T20 at UAE, do you think that he would be a preferred all-rounder because you are playing in similar conditions like UAE in Pakistan?
I think being different formats, it requires quite different skills. UAE wickets for T20s are pretty batting friendly a lot of the time. Test match offers up different things. So no, we're really happy with where Cam Green's at. After a great Ashes series.
Thanks, Pat.
Siobhan Rowe.
Hi, Pat. Thanks, Cole. Can you just touch on the flexibility of the squad? From the outside looking in, there are a plethora of options. I mean, due to the unknown conditions in Pakistan, do you imagine that a lot of the squad will get used over the series?
Yeah, it's hard to know. But I think I said this after the Ashes series. What pleased me so much as a captain wasn't just that we had 11 players that performed. We had a squad of 15, and everyone had a real influence on the series. And now going over there, we've had an extra spinner. We've got Mitch Marsh come back into the squad as well. It just feels like we've got so many options, so many different ways we can structure the team and have success. So I think history shows on subcontinent tours, you do need a whole squad, and the team does and can change. We'll see how it plays out.
Thanks, Pat.
think we got one last one here, guys. 7 Sydney. I don't think they worked out how they can raise their hand. So I'm not sure who that is. 7 Sydney.
Pat, it's Andrew McKinlay. I've worked out to raise my hand.
Should have known, Macca.
Mate, just you're about to captain an historic series to Pakistan, yet you and 3 colleagues are going to leave that series before the limited overs games take place to go to the IPL. One, is that still the case? 2, are you comfortable with that? And what do you say to critics that claim that you're putting the IPL before country?
Yeah, it's, we're not flying straight out from Pakistan to the IPL. It's, it's an opportunity to have a week, rest after a pretty grueling 3 Test match series. I think that's probably, been the main factor in the decision as much as anything else is, we're playing 3 Test matches, 15 days of Test match cricket in 23 or 24 days. That we're over there. So to then, tag on some white ball cricket directly after that, it's a pretty big ask in what will be a really busy 12 months. So, comfortable with the decision. It's the, realities of playing cricket, 3 formats, 12 months of the year.
Excellent. Thanks, Macca, and thanks to Pat for today. We'll finish up there, guys. So we'll catch up with you all sometime in the next few days. Thank you.
Thanks,
Pat. Thanks, Cole.